Hare Krishna.
Hare
Om
Krishna,
Namo
Prabhuji.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayabadhiraye Nashtaprayesha Vadhrayeshantyam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavata Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devakinandanaaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Harihi Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 7. Indra offends his spiritual master Bṛhaspati. I think we are supposed to read from verse number 26. I'm seeing if someone would like to do. Can give me 1 second. Yep. Who would like to read from verse number 26? Maybe I can't hear. I think I don't know. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this is anyway a small part. What I will do is I will recite and then we will go on. Or Chitramali Mataji, I don't know if you can read from verse number 27 to 40. No. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Whom
Krishna.
did you
Say,
whom did you ask to read?
if Chitramali Mataji, she joined late, no? If she want to read.
Yes, Prabhuji, she can read. Yeah.
Okay. From 27.
I joined now. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
From where Prabhuji?
27.
Okay. The demigod said, Beloved Vishwarupa, may there be all good fortune for you.
Maybe Adarasa Prabhu has to
Yes.
mute as well as lower his volume to 0.
Now Prabhuji? What?
Yeah, improved.
The demigod said, Beloved Vishwarupa, may there be all good fortune for you. We, the demigods, have come to your ashram as your guests. Please try to fulfill our desires according to the time, since we are on the level of your parents. Oh, sorry, I forgot to recite. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 28. O Brahmana.
You can read from 27.
Okay. Text 27. The demigod said, Beloved Vishwarupa, may there be all good fortune for you. We, the demigods, have come to your ashram as your guest. Please try to fulfill our desires according to the time, since we are on the level of your parents. O Brahmana, the highest duty of a son, even though he has son of his own, is to serve his parents, and what to speak of a son who is a brahmachari. The Acharya, the spiritual master who teaches all the Vedic knowledge and gives initiation by offering the sacred thread, is the personification of all the Vedas. Similarly, a father personifies Lord Brahma, a brother, King Indra, a mother, the planet Earth, and the sister Mercy. A guest personifies religious principles. An invited guest personifies the demigod Agni, and all living entities personify Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dear son, we have been defeated by our enemies and therefore we are very much aggrieved. Please mercifully fulfill our desires by relieving our distress through the strength of your austerities. Please fulfill our prayers. Since you are completely aware of the Supreme Brahman, you are a perfect Brahmana and therefore you are the spiritual master of all the orders of life. We accept you as our spiritual master and director so that by the power of your austerity we may easily defeat the enemies who have conquered us. The demigods continued, do not fear criticism for being younger than us. Such etiquette does not apply in regard to Vedic mantras. Except in relationship to Vedic mantras, seniority is determined by age, but one may offer respectful obeisances even to the younger person who is advanced in chanting Vedic mantras. Therefore, although you are junior in relationship to us, you may become our priest without hesitation. Sukdev Goswami continued, when all the demigods requested the great Vishwarupa to be their priest, Vishwarupa, who was advanced in austerities, was very pleased. He replied to them as follows. Sri Vishwarupa said, O demigods, although the acceptance of priesthood is decried as causing the loss of previously acquired Brahminical power, how can someone like me refuse to accept your personal request? You are all exalted commanders of the entire universe. I am your disciple and must take many lessons from you. Therefore, I cannot refuse you. I must agree for my own benefit. O exalted governors of various planets, the true Brahmana, who has no material possessions, maintains himself by the profession of accepting Silochana. Silonchana. In other words, he picks up grain left in the field and on the ground in the wholesale marketplace. By this means, householder Brahmanas who actually abide by the principles of austerity and penance maintain themselves and their families and perform all necessary pious activities. A Brahmana who desires to achieve happiness by gaining wealth through professional priesthood must certainly have a very low mind. How shall I accept such priesthood? All of you are my superiors, therefore, although accepting priesthood is sometimes reapproachable, I cannot refuse even a small request from you. I agree to be your priest. I shall fulfill your request by dedicating my life and possessions. Sri Sukadev Goswami continued, O king, after making this promise to the demigods at the exalted Vishwarupa, surrounded by the demigods, performed the necessary priestly activities with great enthusiasm and attention. The opulence of the demons, who are generally known as the enemies of the demigods, was protected by the talents and tactics of Shukracharya, but Vishwarupa, who was most powerful, composed a protective prayer known as the Narayan Kavach. By this intelligent mantra, he took away the opulence of the demons and gave it to Mahindra, the king of heaven. Vishwarupa, who was most liberal, spoke to King Indra, Sahasraksha, the secret hymn that protected Indra and conquered the military power of the demons. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Chitramali Mataji. Hope you enjoyed reading.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay. Om Agyanatimirandhasya Gyananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Patamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Kurushayata Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Anvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swami Namne Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschyatra Desadarine वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So this is a chapter, very nice chapter, because here we are talking about the demigod, and not even an ordinary. He is the king of heavens. He has offended his spiritual master, and as a consequence, what happened is what we are relating here. Of course, it also leads to an understanding how Vritrasura has come. Mm. And so this is what happened when Indra was not respectful to his spiritual master, and unknowingly, yeah, because of pride, he got carried away. That when Bṛhaspati came, he didn't honor, he didn't respect. Uh, and seeing this, Bṛhaspati understood this is that because of possession, because of recognition, Indra has become puffed up, and out of pride, he lost his senses. So, Bṛhaspati, feeling offended by himself, by Indra, because a spiritual master should be respected by all means, and that didn't happen. So, instead of cursing or retaliating, no, he just left, because he understood that pride is something through which, when someone has pride, he will not appreciate whatever the spiritual master may tell. Rather, when one experiences pain and when one experiences inconvenience, then he would appreciate the role of a spiritual master, and he left from the place. But Indradev immediately, it didn't took so much time. He understood that he has done such a great mistake. And meanwhile, what happened? All the demons have come. Uh, no, yeah. Because of this, when there is no more spiritual master, and whatever the offense that Indra has done caused his own destruction, because the demons became very powerful. Why? Because they have on the other side worshipped the spiritual master Sukracharya very, very devotedly, with great devotion, and that's why they acquired immense power, and they could even conquer Indrapuri. So then demigods were very much yeah, kicked out from their own home, which was very painful. They approached Lord Brahma, and Lord Brahma advised. He said, "Na vipra govinda gvam ishvaranam bhavanti abhadrani narasvaranam." He says there is no misfortunes for king who respect Brahmanas, the cows, and Lord Govinda. So then Brahma said, accept Vishwarupa, the son of Tvashta, and a powerful, who is a powerful Brahmana, and a great austerity. Pleased by your worship, he will fulfill your desires, provided you tolerate his inclination to the demons. That is something very important. Here it is said that Vishwarupa is the son of Tvashta, though the father is very devoted and divine, but his maternal relation is coming from Asuras. Let me quickly find where is that. Tvashta has married daughter of Daityas, whose name is Rachana, and Tvashta had Sannivesha and Vishwarupa. So Vishwarupa is a brahmachari here, and we can see from what Chitramali Mataji read. We will see. Of course, there are not in detail purports from 20. What did we read? 30 26. No? Not so many detailed purports, because the point is pretty clear here, that Lord Brahma has advised the demigods to accept son of Tvashta as their spiritual master, although he was inclined towards the benefit of Asuras. So Sri Sukha Uvacha Ta evam udita rajan brahmana vigata jvaraha rishim tvastram upavrajya parishvajayadam uh, Abruvan. Abruvan means spoke. He spoke as Paul. Sukadeva Goswami spoke that advised by Lord Brahma, and relieved of their anxiety, all the demigods went to the sage Vishwarupa. Uh, and My dear king, they embraced him and spoke as follows. Shri Deva Uvacha Vayam te atitaya prapta ashramam bhadram astute kamaha sampradyatam tata pitranam samayochita. Mm. Here it says that, mm, beloved Vishwarupa, may there be all good fortune for you. We, the demigods, have come to your ashram as your guests. So Indradev is saying, yeah, we are guests at your place. And please try to fulfill our desires according to the time, since we are on the level of your parents. So Indradev, he wanted to request. At the same time, he also is saying, oh, we are like your parents, and yeah, of the same level of your parents. Um, so, yeah, please bless us. In fact, how does that come is, I would say, yeah, this Kashyapa Muni uh, son is Tyashta, and Kashyapa Muni's sons are also Adityas. Kashyapa Muni's son, we can see in that way he's related, so he's like a parent. Um, so please try to fulfill our desires according to the time, since we are on the level of your parents. And then he gives a very important message here, saying, "Oh, Brahmana, Putranam hi paro dharmaha." The duty, the prime duty, the highest duty. Putranam hi paro dharma, not ordinary paro dharma. Pitra sushrushanam satam api putra vatam brahman kim uta brahmacharinam, is saying, normally even a householder has a responsibility, because householder will have his own sons, doesn't mean that he doesn't, shouldn't, or cannot, or doesn't need to uh, attend to his parents. No, it says the highest duty of a son, even though he has sons of his own, is to serve his parents. And what to speak of a son who is a brahmachari? So Vishwarupa, hey, you are a brahmachari. For you, the topmost prime duty is to serve your parents, and we are like your parents. And then he says, Acharyo Brahmano Murtihi Pita Murtihi Prajapate Bhratar Marutpater Murtir Mata Sakshat Shites Tanuhu Dayaya Bhagini Murtir. And then Dharmasyatmatitya Swayam Agner Abhyagato Murti Sarva Bhutani Cha Atmana. So Indra is saying, or the demigods is saying, are saying that the Acharya, the spiritual master who teaches all Vedic knowledge and gives initiation by offering the sacred thread, is the personification of all Vedas. So such a spiritual master is personification of all Vedas. And then similarly, a father personifies Lord Brahma, a brother, King Indra, a mother, the planet Earth, sister uh, personifies mercy, a guest personifies religious principles. So that's why one should welcome a guest. An invited guest personifies the demigod Agni, uh, and all living entities personify Lord Vishnu, the supreme personality of Godhead. So this is, here it means that one should see that person like that. Why? Because yeah, we can see in the case of Earth, mm, Mother, mm, is planet, personifies Earth. Yeah, just like how the Earth is progeniting so many trees, plants, and everything, or reservoir of all waters and everything. How it is having this Dhartri. Similarly, the mother is the source of her progeny. So, and similarly, Brahma, the father personifies Lord Brahma. From Brahma, everything came. It was secondary creation indeed happened through Brahma. So, then there is sister, personifies mercy. A sister should be always very merciful, or yeah, it means that a true sister is a manifest this quality of mercy. Prabhupada writes in the purport that Chanakya Pandit, according to his moral instruction, there is Atmavat Sarva Bhuteshu. It means that everyone should deal with others as if he is dealing with his own self. This means that no one should be neglected as inferior because Paramatma is seated in everyone's body. Everyone should be respected as a temple of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This verse describes different ways in which one should respect a guru, a father, a mother, a brother, a sister, a guest, and so on. Taspat pitranam artanam artim parabhavam tapasapanayam tata sandesham kartum arhasi. He said, um, uh, yeah, tata means, oh dear son. Dear son, you have been defeated by our enemies, and therefore I'm sorry, dear son, we have been defeated by our enemies. So Indra is saying to Vishwarupa that we have been defeated by our enemies and therefore we are very much aggrieved. Please mercifully fulfill our desires by relieving our distress through the strength of your austerities. Please fulfill our prayers. So this is what uh, Indra is saying. Now we need you. Vrinimahe त्वोपाध्यायं ब्रह्मिष्टं ब्राह्मणं गुरुं यथा जसा विजेष्यामः सपत्नां तव तेजसा. It is said, since you are completely aware of the Supreme Brahman, now they are glorifying the greatness of the uh, of Vishwarupa. At the same time, they are also saying, because of your greatness, you don't have to worry that you are younger than us. How can a younger person can become a guru of old? Since you are completely aware of the Supreme Brahman, you are perfect Brahman. So first thing is you are perfect Brahman. That is your qualification. Second, therefore, you are the spiritual master of all orders of life. One who is a perfect Brahmana, he becomes guru for everyone. And now Indra is saying, we accept you as our spiritual master and director so that by power of your austerity, we can easily conquer the enemy who have conquered us. Prabhupada writes in purport, one must approach a particular type of guru to execute a particular type of duty. Therefore, although Vishwarupa was inferior to demigods, the demigods approached him as their guru to conquer the demons. Hmm. That is the reason also why Lord Brahma sent to him. न गर्हयन्ति हि अर्थेषु यविष्टाङ्घ्रि अभिवादनं चण्डोभ्योऽन्यत्र न ब्रह्मन् वयो ज्येष्ठस्य ज्येष्ठ yeah karanam ज्येष्ठस्य means seniority. Forget about that. Yeah, you are actually senior. Why? The demigod said, do not fear criticism of being younger than us. Such etiquette does not regard or apply in regards to Vedic mantras. Except in relation to Vedic mantras, seniority is determined by age. Hmm? Seniority, we may say, na, oh, someone is elder, someone is, one should respect him, one should honor all this. But one who is expert in Vedic mantras, he gets first hmm, respect. Except in relation to Vedic mantras, seniority is determined by age, but one may offer respectful obeisances even to a younger person who is advanced in chanting Vedic mantras. Therefore, although you are junior in relationship to us, you may become our priest without hesitation. Here, I mean, Prabhupada gives in the purport, it is said, Vruddhatvam Vayasa Vina means one may be senior without being advanced in age. Even if one is not old, one gains seniority if he is senior in knowledge. What is the criteria? It is in knowledge. Vishwarupa was junior in relationship to the demigods because he was their nephew, but the demigods wanted to accept him as a priest, therefore, he would have to accept obeisances from them. The demigods explained that this should not be a cause for hesitation. He could become their priest because he was advanced in knowledge, Vedic knowledge. Chanakya Pandit advises, Nichad api uttamas jnanam. One may accept education from a member of a lower social order. The Brahmanas, the members of the most elevated Varna or teachers, but a person in a lower family, such as family of Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra, even Shudra, may be accepted as a teacher if he has knowledge. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu approved this when he expressed this opinion before Ramananda Rai. Kiba Vipra Kiba Nyasi Sudra Kene Naya Yai Krishna Tattva Veta Sai Guru Haya. It does not matter whether one is Brahmana, Shudra, Grahastha or Sannyas. These are all middle designations. A spiritually advanced person has nothing to do with such designations. Therefore, if one is advanced in the science of Krishna consciousness, regardless of his position in human society, he may become a spiritual master. So let's take a moment of time here to understand what is the import of this is that Vaishnavas, I think in fact there was this big debate where they were saying Brahmanas are great, but Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur very thoroughly, uh, profoundly established that Vaishnavas are above them. And why? Because they are very dear to the Lord. Uh, so one may see that it's not about the birth. It's not about nichad api uttama jnanam. So one may accept education from a member of a lower social order. This is very important, to understand. Oh, we may say, oh, no, he is born to a Vaishya or a Shudra, and if he has become a guru, how can we accept him? If you call Suta Goswami, if we talk about Vyasadeva, so we can see Vyasadeva is son of um, what is her name? Matsya Gandhi, right? Mm, yeah, Parashar Muni and Matsya Gandhi. Matsya Gandhi is also mother of Shantanu, and from Shantanu comes Bhishma and etc. We can see Matsya Gandhi is not a Kshatriya or not a Brahmana, but we can see we are all reading and hearing the Vedas that are written by Vyasadeva. And in fact, we are hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam that is narrated by Suta Goswami to Saunaka Munis. All the Brahmanas have assembled there, and they have taken this mm, purportful um, wisdom from Suta Goswami. Yeah, so we go further. So here we can see that it's not about that, and age is a factor, of course, that defines the criteria of etiquette, how to respect aged people, and we shouldn't neglect that. We shouldn't ignore that. We should actually protect that. That's why I really see whenever Bhakti Bhushan Maharaj conducts home program, he is very happy when it's conducted by Indians, because he knows that okay, all the etiquettes are followed, and one of the etiquette is that he explicitly he says that I hope you have already offered prasadam to aged elderly people. Mm. And because he says in India this is the custom, and this is how first elderly are honored. And of course, if you see in the temples, or if you see in any marriage occasions or weddings, we can see that, or any ceremonies, for that matter, elders, they have special place, and also very carefully served all the things. And after he honors food, when he gets up, then only others get up. So these are some etiquettes, and one should honor. Mm, and of course, one expects such elderly people to be also not just advanced by age, but advanced by the spiritual strength. That is the understanding. It's not that one is just growing by age and through which one is deserving respect. Of course, respect is there, and honor also is there, and also importance is also. It's derived by the spiritual strength, by energy of, sorry, by educational um, potency, spiritual, not material education. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says to Ramananda Rai that Kipa Vipra Kipa Nyasi Shudra Kena Naya Yei Krishna Tattva Veta, one who is Krishna conscious, say Guru Hai. So he is qualified to become Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's a Brahmana, Shudra, Grihastha or Sannyas. These are all material designations. Um, these are all material designation. Therefore, if one is advanced in the science of Krishna consciousness, regardless of his age or his position in human society, he may become a spiritual master. What are the qualifications? Is having the complete control of senses and practice Krishna consciousness. Shri Rishir Uvacha Abhyartitah Sura Ganaihi Paurahitye Mahatapah Sa Vishwarupastan Aha Prasannaha Shlakshanaya Gira. So Sukadeva Goswami said, when all the demigods requested the great Vishwarupa to be their priest, Vishwarupa, who was advanced in austerity, was very pleased. He replied to them as follows: Shri Vishwarupa Vacha Vigarhitam Dharma Shilair Brahma Vacha Upavyayam Katham nu Mad Vido Natha Lokesair Abhiyachitam Pratyakshashyati Tat Chishyah Sa Eva Swartha Uchyate. Swartha means swa artha. Artha means gains. Swartha means self benefit or real interest. So Vishwarupa said, O demigods, although the acceptance of priesthood is decreed as causing loss of, how can someone like me refuse to accept your personal request? Here, this is very important. To become a priest is not a easy thing. To become a priest means to really become well versed in the scriptures so that one becomes a media connecting the person who is asking or engaging him in priesthood uh, to the Supreme Lord. That is, and in this process, if one is not careful, then whatever he has acquired loss, he may lose of previously acquired Brahmanical power. So, but when the offer is so good, yeah, the offer is that in fact to serve the demigods who are like his parents, he said, "You are all exalted commanders of the entire universe. I am your disciple and must take my many lessons from you. Therefore, I cannot refuse you. I must agree for my own benefit." So, Prabhupada writes, the professions of a qualified Brahmana are Patan, Patan, Yajan, Yajan, Dana, Pratigraha. Means uh, Patan, Patan, to learn and to teach. Yajan, Yajan, to take donations and to give donations. Sorry, Yajan, Yajan, to ask. Hmm? And Dana, Pratigrahya, to take and give. The word yajan yajan means that Brahmana becomes the priest of opulence for the sake of their elevation. One who accepts the post of spiritual master neutralizes the sinful reaction of the Yajaman. This is very important secret. Who doesn't want it? All of us would have a heap full of sins that we have accumulated knowingly, unknowingly. And it is said that one who accepts the post of spiritual master, the spiritual master is neutralizing the sinful reactions of the person, Yajaman, the one on whose behalf he performs yajna. Thus, the um, results of pious acts previously performed by the priest or the spiritual master are diminished. Yeah, it is out of great compassion the spiritual master is doing the yajna so that his piety, yeah, might be diminished. Therefore, priesthood is not accepted by learned Brahmanas. Nevertheless, the greatly learned Brahmana Vishwarupa became the priest of demigods because of his profound respect for them. अकिंचनानां हि धनं शिलोञ्चनं तेनेह निर्वर्तिता साधु सत्क्रियः कथं विग्रह्यं नु करोमि अधीश्वरं पौरोदसं हृष्यति येन दुर्मतिः. Only one who is less intelligent, he's saying, "O exalted governors of various planets, the true Brahmana who has not material possessions maintain himself by the profession of accepting Silochana. He is not just becoming a Paurohitya because he cannot earn money. So that's why whatever Vedas he has learned and he starts using for his own maintenance. No, rather he follows Silonchana, means, in other words, he picks up grains left in the field and on the ground in the wholesale market. By this means, householder Brahmanas who actually abide by the principle of austerity and penance maintain themselves and their families and perform all necessary pious activities. I remember one of our god brothers, he took brahmacharya and he started, for quite long time, he started living in Vrindavan. And he used to maintain very meek level of um, to maintain himself. He used to go to marketplace in Vrindavan. Yeah, we go to Loy Bazaar for shopping, but he goes to grocery wholesale dealers, and there he is in a brahmachari vesh, and of course he asks if they would like to give something, and then he used to take them and then maintain. This is one. And of course, later stage, he even come to a point that why should I go and ask all these things? Let me go to because his time is going into all these things. So he decided, no, let me go and stay in one of the temples in Govardhan hill around Govardhan. Uh, so yeah, and that he can fully engage in serving the temple. He left. He didn't have any. He intentionally uh, withdrew himself from the social communication in the form of phones. He doesn't maintain any phone. I said, shall I give you a phone or arrange a phone? He said, no, I don't want a phone. Uh, I don't want a SIM. I don't have any. I don't need anything. So I just want to, whatever is needed, the Lord will provide. So a Brahmana who desires to achieve happiness by gaining wealth through professional priesthood must certainly have a very low mind. And that's why Vishwarupa is saying, how shall I accept such priesthood? So such priests never demand anything for their disciples to live in opulence, imitating Kshatriyas or Vaishyas. In other words, a pure Brahmana voluntarily accepts a life of poverty and lives in complete dependence on the mercy of the Lord. Not very many years ago, a Brahmana in Krishna Nagar near Navadvip was offered some help from local Jamindar, Raja Krishna Chandra. The Brahmana refused to accept the help. He said that since he was very happy in his householder life, taking rice given by his disciples and cooking vegetables of tamarind leaves, there was no question of taking help from Jamindar. The conclusion is that although a Brahmana may receive much opulence from his disciples, he should not utilize the rewards of his priesthood for his personal benefit. He must use them for the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. तथापि न प्रतिब्रूह्याम गुरुभिः प्रार्थितं कियत् भवतां प्रार्थितं सर्वं प्राणैर अर्थैश्च साधये. He's saying, all of you are my superiors, therefore, although accepting priesthood is sometimes reproachable, reproachable is not means not welcomed. It's not reapproachable, it's reproachable. I cannot refuse even a small request from you. I agree to be your priest. I shall offer your request by dedicating my life and possessions. So this looks quite welcoming. Now, Vishwarupa teaches Indra, very important. So, Sri Badarayana Vacha, so Shukadeva Goswami is telling, Tebhya evam प्रतिश्रुत्य विश्वरूपो महातपाः पौरोहित्यं वृत्त्यश्चक्रे परमेण samadhina. What did he do? Sukadeva Goswami is saying, O king, after making this promise to the demigods, Vishwarupas performed the necessary priestly activities with great enthusiasm and attention. So samadhina is very important. Samadhi means complete absorption. So here Vishwarupa, who was most learned Brahmana, not only accept the request of the demigods, but took their request seriously and performed the activities of priesthood. In other words, he accepted priesthood not for material gain, but to profit the demigods. Such is the duty of priest. Purohita means pura means family, and hita means benefit. Thus, the word Purohita indicates that the priest is the welfare of the family. Another meaning of the word Pura is first. A priest's first duty is to see that his disciples benefit spiritually and materially by all means. Then he is satisfied. A priest should never be interested in performing Vedic rituals for his personal benefit. Suradvisham Shriyam Guptam Aushanasyapi Vidyaya Achidyadan Mahendraya Vaishnavya Vidyaya Vibhuhu. So then what they did is the opulence of demigods, who are generally known as the enemies of demigods, opulence of demons, sorry. So, whatever now the opulence of demons, who are generally known as the enemies of demigods, was protected by the talents and tactics of Sukracharya. Sukracharya was ensuring all the opulences of the asuras are saved, secured. But Vishwarupa, who was most powerful, composed a protective prayer known as Narayana Kavacha. By this intelligent mantra, he took away the opulence of the demons and gave it to Indra, Mahendra. So here, this is what happened. Um, yeah, the purport is very nice, but I'll just cover the next few verses. Let me cover this. So the distinction between the demigods, devas, and demons, asuras, is that demigods are devotees of Lord Vishnu, whereas the demons are devotees of demigods like Lord Shiva, Goddess Kali, Goddess Durga. Sometimes the demons are also devotee of Lord Brahma. For example, Hiranyakashipu was a devotee of Lord Brahma. Ravana was a devotee of Lord Shiva. Mahishasura was a devotee of Lord Goddess Durga. The demigods are devotees of Lord Vishnu. Vishnu Bhakta Smrito Daiva. Whereas demons, Asura Tava Viprayaya, are always against the Vishnu Bhaktas or Vaishnavas. To oppose the Vaishnavas, the demons become devotees of Shiva, Brahma, Kali, Durga, and so on. In the days of yore, many long years ago, there was enmity between Devas and Asuras, and the same spirit still continues for the devotees of Lord Shiva and Goddess Durga are always envious of Vaishnavas who are devotees of Lord Vishnu. This strain between the devotees of Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu has always existed. In the higher planetary systems, fights between the demons and demigods continue for a long time. Herein we see that Vishwarupa made for the demigods a protective covering, saturated with Vishnu mantra. Sometimes Vishnu mantra is called Vishnu Jvara or Shiva mantra is called Shiva Jvara. We find in the Shastra that sometimes Shiva Jvara and Vishnu Jvara are employed in the fights between the demons and demigods. The word Suradvisham, uh, which is in this verse, means the enemies of the demigods, also refers to atheists. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam elsewhere says that Lord Buddha appeared for the purpose of bewildering the demons or atheists. The Supreme Lord always awards his benediction to devotees. The Lord himself confirms this in Bhagavad Gita. So yaya guptaha sahasraksho jigye sura chamur vibhuhu tam praha sa mahendraya vishwarupa udaradhi. And finally, Vishwarupa, who was Udara, who was most liberal, spoke to King Indra. What did he spoke? He gave the secret hymn or mantra, which is called Narayana mantra, that protected Indra and conquered the military power of the demons. Hare Krishna. Thank you. How was that? Any thoughts someone would like to share?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thanks for explaining this purports of this chapter. Prabhuji, I'm sorry I could not attend the last few classes. So can you just quickly explain why Indra and other demigods they offended Bṛhaspati and
Yeah, because
they had to.
Indra's pride.
because of
Because of
his
his pride that he got carried away and he insulted Bṛhaspati. And of course, after 5 chapters from here, we will also see maybe this is also the divine plan of the Lord, so that Vritrasura comes and then Indra learns the greatness of Vritrasura. So all these things, yeah. So we'll touch on that in coming chapters also.
Okay. And what is Vishwarupa's identity? Is he a sage or
He is a son.
how he came?
He is a son of Tvesta, who is the son of Kashyapa and Aditi. So coming
Kashyapa
from a
and
divine
Aditi. Okay.
line. But because he marries Rachana, who is a daughter of Daityas, that's why their offspring is Vishwarupa, and Brahma knows that though he is a perfect brahmachari, perfect priest, but he has inclination towards favoring asuras. We will discuss that, I think, in coming chapters. How does he do? And because of that, what happens to him, and etc. Of course, not as a main line, because the point here of this is answering to the question about Vitrasura greatness.
Okay.
So he's in a way, though he's a demon, he's the hero of this particular series of chapters.
Okay. So Sage Vishwarupa's wife was coming from the demon lineage, or
Not Vishwarupa's wife, Tvesta. So Vishwarupa's mother.
Tvesta, his father's wife. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just like how what happened in the case of Ravana, right? Ravana's mother is Kaikasi, right?
Yes.
So yeah, there is sometimes they think, hey, it's a nice alliance so that demons can get more power. That's why they trick such a way that Vishravas got married to Kaikasi.
Yes, Ravi.
That's why Ravana is a Brahmana as well as who got carried away by the
Okay.
interests of Kaikasi later to become more powerful.
And this Narayan Kavacha is the powerful mantra what he gave to
Yeah.
the demigods.
Yeah, and the next chapter is all about what is it actually about. So next chapter is about the Narayan Kavach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Okay, if we are done, then thank you very much. Let's meet at in Noise on the occasion of a program, an event where we are discussing is Gita relevant for today. Yeah, that's the topic. Hare Krishna.